This is Access Ann Arbor.
Hi, I'm Beth Feldkamp, and I'd like to welcome you to our panel discussion about the Adult Transitions GED Plus program at Washtenaw Community College. As the Community Outreach Coordinator for the program, I am excited to act as the host of this session. I started my educational journey as a student with this program 5 years ago, and I am currently working towards my Master's in Social Work at the University of Michigan. Now I'd like to introduce Bonnie Truman, the manager of the Adult Transitions program. Tell us about the programs offered at Washtenaw Community College.
Thanks, Beth. I'm really happy to be here today. I'll start by saying that WCC's Adult Transitions program has served the community for the past 17 years. It's a college and career readiness program that helps students improve their academic skills to complete the GED. But more importantly, we help students build a network of ongoing support with a focus on transitioning to college, training, and jobs. So earning the GED is just the jumping off point. We currently offer programming at WCC's main campus and at our Harriet Street location in Ypsilanti next to Michigan Works. Classes are offered during the morning and the afternoon and evening, and the cost of each session is $30, with all testing costs covered. We also have some scholarships that are available to students who need assistance. This past fall, we partnered with Ypsilanti Community Schools to offer a GED Plus program at the Old George Elementary School on Ecorse Road in Ypsilanti. All of the locations that I mentioned offer teacher-led instruction, computer instruction, individual tutoring, which is supported through our partnership with Washtenaw Literacy, individual and personal counseling and academic counseling, and fast track to college enrollment. We offer weekly seminars that focus on soft skill development and provide students with critical information that helps them prepare to make their next best steps and the decisions that they need to make with those. Lastly, we also provide graduates with the opportunity to come back to the program and serve as mentors and tutors as they work through their own college experience.
That's great. I also understand that WCC and its partners just received a big Department of Labor grant. Could you share more about this exciting opportunity with us?
Yeah, Youth Build is a highly successful alternative education program that blends hands-on learning with academic improvement. Successful students will earn a GED, gain leadership skills, earn construction certifications, gain employability skills, and they'll participate in the rehab and building of a home in Ypsilanti. WCC Construction and Adult Transitions program, with the support of multiple community partners, including employers and trade unions, are collaborating in the development of the Youth Build program. We're in the process of recruiting students right now for a start date in late January. Those who are interested should make those inquiries now and plan to attend one of our information sessions. The contact information is available at the WCC Youth Build website.
One of the highlights of the program for me was the graduation ceremony. Can you share a little about this event with us?
Well, since its beginning, literally thousands of students between the ages of 16 and 65 have entered our program and completed their GED. We fully acknowledge the courage and the commitment that it takes for a lot of people to do this. So it's a significant accomplishment and a milestone that we want to celebrate. So each year we host a big graduation ceremony for the students and their families and their friends at the Morris Lawrence building on campus. All the students receive free caps and gowns, and they walk across the stage to the music of the WCC faculty and student jazz band. We typically have hundreds of participants who fill the auditorium, and this year students even received a free graduation portrait picture And the whole celebration is very heartwarming and exciting, and watching people who are celebrating the goals that they have achieved. But in speaking about graduation, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce some of the graduates from the Adult Transitions program. I could talk about the program all day, but I think it's really important to hear the voices of those who have participated in the past. So some of our previous students include Paul Brewer, Tabitha Cheney, and Eva Dentler. So we want to welcome all of you to the discussion today.
Hello, and welcome to you all. Paul, what brought you to the Adult Transitions program?
Well, a few things brought me to the program. First is my mom kicking me in the butt, wanting me to do something with my life, but another is me personally wanting to do something with my life. And I love to cook, so that's the main thing that brought me to Washtenaw, and I knew they had a great program there, so that was my main focus on top of everything that I gained while going to the program.
Thank you. Evan, how about you? What brought you to the program?
I was struggling quite a bit. I was at a job I didn't like, working 6 to 7 days a week, and working all those hours, still not being able to afford rent and my bills, or just barely making it by. And I just kind of realized I wasn't happy where I was in life and needed to get my stuff together. And right about that time, my buddy told me about the program here at Washtenaw, and I decided to give it a try, and it's probably one of the best decisions I made. Made a big impact in my life.
Well, we're glad that you did. Tabitha, what did you gain from this program?
Confidence.
Great answer.
There was so many people who just told me that, yes, you can do it there, and that is invaluable to me. Just the exorbitant amount of support we receive.
Thank you. Paul, could you tell us about how the program structure was helpful to you? The different locations that we may have offered, hours?
Yeah, it was a great structure for me. I mean, the most important thing to me was the labs that we had. That's what it was then. It actually showed me, it gives you a more structure of life. They got so many plans, like they plan out a lot more for your life, and now I still use those to this day. So
some of the skills that you earned in that, or learned in that environment, you have gone on to use
to this day. Yeah.
Great. So if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit, Evan, about how the program has helped you in what you're currently doing?
Absolutely. I about 4 months after I graduated or got my GED, I applied to this new company. It was about a 4-month interview process, a company I wanted to apply to before but couldn't because I did not have my GED. And they accepted, and I've been there about a year now, and about a year's time I bought my first house.
Wow.
Pretty much paid off all my bills, and starting to understand what it's like to not stress about money for once in my life. And I can't tell you what a wonderful feeling that is.
That's great.
And what Tabitha was saying earlier, confidence. I'm happy to hear her say it because I felt so confident after I walked out of this Washtenaw with that GED. I don't know how to describe it. I felt like sky was the limit and schooling was going to be a piece of cake.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing and how the program had impact on that?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I mean, like I said, I love to cook, and I went to the culinary arts program there, and it's a great program. I love the teachers, everything that they have going on there, and now I'm currently working at a restaurant downtown in Arbor, and I love it. Like, I make good money, work whatever amount of hours I want to, so I love it. It's made a big change in my life.
That's great. Tabitha, same for you. Can you share a little bit about that experience?
Well, currently I'm mentoring for the program like Paula had mentioned, and I love it. I go in and I help other people, and teaching other people really helps you structure how you're going, your learning of that. Like, you really know something once you can teach someone else about it. So it helps with my schoolwork, and I love interacting with the students. And there's just such a nice family atmosphere in our classroom. It's really wonderful to see, and it's a great place for me to be.
Awesome. That's great. And you had mentioned that you were a mentor, and Paul was also one of the first mentors that we had with the program. Serving in those different roles, having been a student and then transferring over to being a mentor, can you share a little bit about what that has done for you and how that has helped you in growing in the future?
Yeah, it helped me grow a lot. I mean, just to see people that you never would have seen outside of that class. And they show so much love just because you help them through a process of their life, you know. It makes a big difference in my life, you know, just to...
You can really empathize with other students because you've been in that place once upon a time. You can really see what their struggle is because we all come from different backgrounds, but something along the way went wrong, and that's why we're here. So I can say to that student, listen, I know what you're going through, but we can get through this, and I'll help you.
And that will be very helpful for them as well. Evan, can you share a little bit about what advice you might have for a potential student?
I would say now is the time. If you've been waiting or thinking to yourself, well, I need schooling for my GED, or I'm too old, or embarrassed, or whatever the case may be. I ran through all those obstacles. Now is the best time. There's never going to be a good time in your life or a good situation. You just have to make the time and do it, and you will benefit greatly from it.
I'm going to pose that same question to you, Tabitha.
You have to really want it for yourself. As a student, I knew that that's what I wanted, that I was dedicated to getting my GED. I see students come in and it's not quite yet. What you have to say to yourself is, yes, this is my time, and I am going to get my GED this time around.
Thank you. How about for you, Paul? What would you share?
I mean, to sum everything up, what they just said, nobody is going to do it but you.
Very good. Very good answer.
All right. Is there anything extra that you would like to share with me about your experience in the program, Paul?
Well, I was never a mentor.
Sorry. Oh, no, go ahead, please. Please feel free.
I was never a mentor.
Yes.
But what they were saying, it is very nurturing and very warming environment. I was very nervous going back to school, but when we walked in that first classroom, it was great. All the teachers were there trying to help, and any questions you may have, they would stop the class and answer them right away. Always there to push you and help you. And the counselors and mentors were trying to get you the next step. They were already thinking past the GED. We're going to set you up for this class, and what do you want to do in the future, and getting you going for something even bigger and better. Sorry, Paul.
No, that's fine. Thank you, Paul.
Well, a lot of things. This program is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. So, like, I'll still to this day send people to this program because it changed a lot in my life.
We're glad to hear that. I know from personal experience as well that it really did change where I was and where I'm headed. So I definitely appreciate you sharing that, as well as sending students, as you know the experience has done for you, and willing to share that with others. That's some of the best networking that we can get our students is word of mouth. Tabitha?
Well, like what Evan was saying, it is a family environment. We are there to support each other, and I've seen time and time again students reaching out to each other and saying, yeah, we can do this, and we can do this together. So I see students coming and helping each other, and I see myself coming in and helping others, and we build an interpersonal relationship to where we're a united front going towards a common goal.
So if a student wanted to enroll now, what steps would they take?
So we're actually going to be starting a new program in January, so a new session in January, and it would be important for them to call us or contact us so that they can get on the orientation list. Every student must attend an orientation, And because what we want to do is we want to make sure that students are clear about what the expectations of the program are, what we will plan to deliver to them. You've heard from, our previous graduates what we're trying to do in our program. It's not just about earning your GED, and I really want to emphasize that. It's about moving on to those next steps, moving on to the goals that you have in your mind, or maybe goals that you don't necessarily have had formed yet. That's part of what we do too. We want to help you to get to that next step. And so if students want to enroll in the program, they need to contact us. Our orientations are slated for January. A couple of things that students need to enroll is they need a state ID or driver's license. They need to know their social security number. They will pay $30, as I mentioned earlier, but again, we do have some scholarships available for those who are in need. And so that's really the first step. And you can see it's a great program. I'm really proud to be part of that program. I've spent my entire career trying to create opportunities for people, and I mentioned the Youth Build program. We're hoping to use that model and the combination of the model of Adult Transitions and the successful construction program that we have right now as a foundation for building new opportunities for people. So they should call us, jump on the website, and that's the first step.
All right. Well, I know you mentioned goals within that statement. Would each of you like to share one of your goals for the future?
Sure, why doesn't Paul start?
All right.
Well, yeah, I have a lot of future goals.
Please share.
Well, I want to open up my own restaurant eventually.
Oh.
Pretty much me, my family,
Okay.
like a hotel type of restaurant type of deal. So that's my focus on life right now, and I'm working on it. It's in progress, and I'm still young. So
Yes. Same for you, Evan?
My goal is to come back to Washtenaw. My company is right now offering free tuition to go back to school. So right now I'm looking up that alley and looking forward to taking more classes.
And what kind of classes? Could you elaborate a little bit?
I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of welding, going into electronics, and maybe some computer work. I've always been interested in computers, and there's some IT guys at the company I'm at, so
Okay.
looking up that alley.
Right.
I'm looking to complete a degree in graphic design or fine arts. So, and then I would like to go on and do graphic design as freelance or sell my art as a regular commission work or whatnot,
So you're currently enrolled at Washtenaw Community
Yes, I'm in my
College as a
first semester, about to finish up. Pretty excited about it.
And you're doing that as well as working as a mentor with our program.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do as the role of a mentor?
Well, I basically walk around and check on students and ask them if they need help, see where they are, push them in the right direction, give them encouragement, show myself as a good example of a student that has gone through, and speak as someone who knows where they are at. It's really important, I think, because in those first few weeks, everyone's a little sheepish and not so sure, but it helps to bring students in closer because they know that someone else in this program has actually done it and they know where they're coming from.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing
Can
that.
I add to that,
Yes,
Beth?
please do.
We started the mentoring program 5 years ago. As a matter of fact, you were one of our lead mentors, along with Paul. And we started the mentoring program for a number of reasons. First of all, I can get up there and talk about the benefits of earning a GED all day long, but I have not experienced that myself. So having someone who has walked in those shoes before and has been successful is one reason that we started the mentoring program. But the other part of it, as you well know, is making that connection with students, not just while they're in our program, but well beyond the scope of our program, and continuing to help build that network that I mentioned earlier and those supports. you know, it's not easy to overcome a lot of the barriers that adult education students face coming into a program. So having a mentor in place, having someone who can say, hey, I did it, you can do it too, but then also having a number of people who you can rely on to continue to support you through your next steps are what is really critical about the whole mentoring aspect and building those self-efficacy skill sets for someone who is being a mentor themselves, who's acting as a mentor themselves. I know that one of the things that Paul has shared with me in the past in regards to his experience as a mentor is that, you know, it really helped him build his own confidence, even after earning his GED. And if I recall correctly, one of the things that he shared with his potential employer, where he's working right now, is the fact that he served as a mentor. And
That was
correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a big
big
selling
selling
factor.
point,
Yeah. So I just wanted to add to what
Yes.
the students are saying from their perspective as mentors, but also the overarching goals of the program are to not just help students while they're working on their GEDs, but we're really looking down the road. I think that Evan mentioned the fact that the counselors and the supports that are there, we're thinking about what your next steps are even before the students are sometimes thinking about that.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I think that that was one of the bonuses for me, is getting to feel confident in the role of being a leader, and that did help me further on through my
Yeah.
career. I know I've shared several times that when I started, I did just start to earn the GED to become more employable, and now, again, 5 years later.
Same for me. I mean,
Yes.
until they came to me and asked me to tutor, and like tutoring somebody is a big difference in somebody's life, you know. Like
Absolutely.
you can, I was a good math tutor, and it's hard to, you know, understand some math. Math could be Chinese sometimes, you know.
Absolutely. And when you wouldn't be there, they would ask, "Where's Paul?" So I remember, I do.
Yeah, I actually became our top-notch tutor in math for some of the people that struggled the most. And I know that, Tabitha, as you move on from the program, I know that Paul, when he's out in the community, people will come up to him and say, hey, you really made a difference in my life. And I think that as a manager of a program or someone who is
A
part of a
student.
program, you can see that that's what really makes a difference. It makes a job like this really gratifying in
Yeah.
being able to develop and offer a program.
Someone coming in who is scared, having good mentors is huge. It really is. Coming into it, you know, I stopped going to school probably in 6th grade, so I was pretty terrified to get, you know, step foot back in the classroom when you have good mentors and teachers who are, hey, this is easy, I'm going to help you through this, you got this, you know, got your back. It's really exciting, and you look forward to coming back versus,
Yes.
oh, I don't want to go back there, you know. So it's very, very healthy
It's
environment.
never intimidating to walk into class. Never. It was never as a student or as a mentor.
Well, I know that that's one of the biggest impediments or barriers for people is the scary
Fear.
factor. It's overwhelming,
Yes.
you know, as you mentioned.
I got over that after a while, after having to stand up and talk to and teach pretty much a whole class, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even as I stepped on to make my first steps into college, I was terrified, but my counselor was right there helping me with my FAFSA, my signing up process, and even set up private meetings so she could help me get into college and set up my classes. Like,
Yeah, because that's a scary
that was
deal
invaluable to me.
So that's great. So you each mentioned the different, so there's mentoring in the program, there's the instructor-led, there's computer work that you do, and then on top of all those soft skills, could each of you just share one experience that sticks out above anything else?
One of the days we were in class, and they said, oh, we got to go do this program. I can't remember what it was called, but you basically ran through a list of things you're interested in doing in the future and career paths, put all in the computer, and then they printed out. I got 70 job, you know, things I could do in the future, and it just blew my mind. You know, I was seeing one or two are going to come back, and I was like, holy cow, look at all this, look at all these potential opportunities.
Yes.
And that was halfway through my GED class, and I was like, man, it really opens your eyes. This is not just for my GED. These guys are going to push me well beyond and keep me going to something even better.
I think I remember it was once I was a tutor. I was helping one of my classmates who I, as a student, went to classes with. She was on her last test, and the day before graduation, she went to take her math test, but she failed. She was 1 point away, and we were all so bummed. We all got teary-eyed, and we said, just come in tomorrow, and we're going to hit this hard. And that morning, the next morning, the day of graduation, she took her math test and passed. Like, we just powwowed and hit that math really, really, really hard, and it made the difference.
Oh, that is great.
Well, for me, it's kind of two things. Well, first is to be able to see friends, family, just anybody on the street. And even if they need help, I would still help them to this day, not even getting tutored for it, but, or paid for it or whatever. But another thing is being able to pretty much now get a job wherever.
Yes, I think that's a great quality, and all the extra skills that you shared with us that you have learned throughout that course.
Not being stuck in life, like he just said,
Yeah.
having the opportunity to go places, and what you were saying, confidence, it's huge.
It's a
When you're going
big
for the
thing,
interviews for these other jobs, you have the confidence, like, I got this now. What I've been putting up with, and now that I have my GED, you kind of get cocky almost in a way. It's like there's no fear anymore.
That is great. I'm loving all of this positive stuff and the feedback that we're getting from the program. Anything else that any of you would like to share about your experience?
Not a single door in the world is locked.
It's true.
Good tip.
And that's really what I want every student to take away from the program, is the fact that, really the sky is the limit. And I think it's just building the confidence that all of you have spoke of, and knowing that you have the skills to move on to that, because a lot of times students are very hesitant about where their skills are, and will work and continue to build those skills. And the emphasis is also placed on, we all know here that GED is not enough. That GED is not enough. You have to have additional credentials. You have to have additional experience to be able to move forward. And whichever path you go in, for example, Tabitha jumped right into school, into college right after completing the program. Evan went on to a job, but now he's got the great opportunity to a very satisfying job, as I might add. He's got the opportunity to use some of the benefits that they have at the job to now move on to
Bigger, better things.
Bigger and better things.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for coming today and sharing your personal experiences. We really appreciate that. For the past 50 years, WCC has opened its doors to the citizens of our community with an overarching mission to make a positive difference in people's lives through accessibility and excellent education programs and services. The programs that we have discussed today are just a few of the many opportunities that are available. For more information about the Adult Transitions or the Youth Build program, please call 734-677-5006. But I also would like to encourage you to visit the WCC homepage for an overview of all of the incredible programming offered at Washtenaw Community College. Thank you for joining us.